I really like this jasmine incense that just burned out in front of me here.
People need to know that I really set the mood for Bags when she comes over.
I love it. I'm sure we've mentioned this, but Will, my spouse, has a very sensitive nose.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know if we have. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Sensitive
very
nose.
Sensitive nose.
Very sensitive
Very
nose.
sensitive.
Like, can't wear perfume sensitive?
Or very specific perfume. Like for one birthday or Christmas, I took them like to the perfume counter and like a perfume man helped us find a perfume.
And it was like allergy shots for him.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein knocked him unconscious. Them unconscious.
Right. It has like 3 notes and lemon are like 2 of them. But yes, I love smells.
Oh, sure.
So much.
Do you kind of like bad smells, by the way? You know,
I'm a gasoline lover. Yeah.
What an admission.
You get that whiff of gasoline. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. That's like turpentine. I'm all up for that.
Yes.
Yeah. I like, once in a while, like a really heavy smell like that. Not like a putrid smell.
Right.
But like a smelling salts type of smell.
Yes.
I'm like, I was ready for that.
Yes. This is really gross. But
great. Here we go.
like the smell of Will's sweat.
No, that's not gross. That's actually normal.
That's normal. When you are with someone, you like the smell of their whatever.
It's a pheromone thing, man. You hear it all the time. That's why, it should be on dating apps. There should just be a sample of this is how they smell.
It would have solved a lot of problems. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Or like, no thanks.
No.
Passing on this option.
Nose alone. Yeah. No, thank you.
The nose knows. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They should give you a full 3D anatomical model. Like
3D print.
3D printed person. So this is okay. So you can see how they look in a room. And then a smell sample.
A smell sample. Is it the same in the other way? Like for because women don't like.
Women don't smell? Bro.
I mean, we do.
I was going to say, how sexist do we want to be on this podcast?
Oh, we smell.
Y'all rake, bro.
We have as much hair as men. And I will stand
and there's
by
smell
that.
everywhere, all over that.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you find it attractive when you like the person as well?
It's been a while since those 2 factors converged into one experience.
Right.
Also, every woman I've known or been with for the most part, it is like a world champion disguiser of smells.
Wow.
They just, that's like they're like, I take great pride in smelling good,
Dang.
And I'm like, I put way less than half that effort and you're tolerating it.
You've never dated a stinky girl.
Are you just a leakstress? Is that your deal?
I mean,
you don't care.
Yeah, I don't really care. I also don't, when I have body odor, it doesn't smell as bad as other people's body odor that I have smelled. That? I have been told by enough trusted friends.
Lovers or friends?
Both.
Okay, but friends who are casual friends or friends who will
dear friends who would tell me
you?
If I stinky smelled.
Would they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
I'm believing you.
Especially my guy. It's
They'd be like, bro.
Yes, exactly.
You slider. You stink.
Yes.
All right.
That is the pure joy of having male friends. They'll tell you.
We are good at direct assaults, direct frontal assaults. We're very good at that.
Right.
Yeah. That's our big talent. What if we went the front way?
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Pretty good at that.
Yeah,
pretty good at full frontal assault. Anyway, this is I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Welcome. If you've never been here before, don't know how you got here this time.
Right. And this is it. We just talk about
I hope you're enjoying this because there's going to be a lot more of it.
Yes.
I'm Adam Ganzer, one of your hosts, with my favorite of the pals.
Oh my God.
Sure, I'll throw it at you.
Oh my
I'll throw
God.
a favorite at you.
I'll take it.
Like it's no big deal, but give your name, bro.
My name is Maggie Fish. Sitting
sure
across
is.
from one of my favorite bros.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Filing it in my pal quiver.
Please.
Doing that.
I talked with my mom recently, and she said, "Hi, Adam."
Did she?
Yes.
It thrills me because I have a face now. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see her saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she can see you. She was thrilled to meet you.
Yeah, I loved your parents. They were, as they know, as they continue to hear, I really liked them. And your sibling.
Yes.
Who I also like quite a bit.
Yes.
So thrilled to meet them as well. And today's episode's actually going to be pretty dialed in on family stuff.
We're keeping it in the family.
I don't know if you want to say that. Yeah. This is not a House of Dragons situation.
Right. I come from such a healthy family dynamic that I, in retrospect, retrospectively,
it's kind of gross.
No.
It's so healthy. It's gross.
I mean, now I'm old enough to appreciate it. It's like, wow, how normal were we? That is.
Yeah, normal is almost weird now.
Yeah.
Especially in our circles.
Yes.
Like our circles where
Yes.
everybody is coming at life from some level of outcast in our world.
Yes.
So it's weird to have a normal family life in some ways. Mm-hmm. It's not a typical experience.
Yeah.
That's a little general, of course, and I know there's exceptions, but
Right.
haven't you encountered that where like
oh, definitely. Yeah. Whereas like everyone's normal is normal to them.
Of course.
But I mean I have many a friend that, now as adults are like, oh wow, that actually wasn't.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. I didn't know everyone wasn't a part of the circus.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes, precisely. Yeah.
A lot of circus friends.
Yes.
That's really what we're getting at here.
They know our friends. They know.
Yeah, they know their lives. I didn't make it up. So, I didn't spoil their lives. Now, typically, you know what? Let's do maybe just short catch up. Yes. And we'll save the luxurious details for the bonus episode.
The boni episode.
Yeah, because sometimes we do the bonus second and I feel like, well, we're not giving them the juice.
Right.
They deserve the juice. They really do.
So you guys with the juice light.
Yeah.
Diet.
Here's the diet juice. Yeah, which is, not a thing people should drink.
No, go full.
Mags, give me the log line of your month. It's been about a month since we chatted.
It's been about a month. I love October. I love spooky season.
Me too.
Are you a fall guy?
It is my birthday this month.
It is.
In 1 week.
Oh my
In fact,
God.
I'm getting so old next week. It's crazy. Yeah, but I don't need to steal your thunder. I love October too.
No. It must be weird getting older. Now that I've known.
My knees scream all the time. Just
but your heart is just as youthful.
Yes, it's enlarged, but not in the sense that you want to hear that it's enlarged. In the sense like, dude, eat better.
Yeah. No,
eat a lot better.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I do need to eat better, but that's a different thing. Why October? What's so good about October for you?
Oh man, I have always loved Halloween. Always. It's always been like my holiday. My birthday is after Halloween, but just by 2 days.
Bro,
November 2nd.
How are we not going to a movie in the next 3 weeks as birthday pals?
Oh my God, let's do it.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, let's pick a movie. Yeah. Pick a flick.
Let's do it. Sure. Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that. That's the comedy standards we're upholding here. Okay, so it's because your birthday's nearby.
Birthday's nearby, but I think it's more like the mood. I love getting cozy. Summer's like a slog for me.
It's not quite over yet either.
That's
October
true.
Used to be it's over.
Yes, no.
Now it's like it's not over yet.
You still got a couple of hot days.
It's like July's when it really got going and it's still not over.
No.
Like for instance, I religiously check the temperature now, like I said, #old. Mm-hmm. And there's a heat wave coming in the next 3 days. And I was like,
God, no.
You're not allowed, motherfucker.
No.
There's a 90-degree day on Wednesday, bro. Look at this shit.
Get it away.
Because I feel like essentially by October 24th, important day for reasons you can imagine.
Yes.
We should not be having heat anymore.
No.
It should be 65 max.
Cut it off.
Give me sweaters for 4 months.
Yes.
Minimum 4 months of sweaters.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Actually, 6 months.
6 months.
6 months of sweaters.
I would live in Nova Scotia.
Well, yeah. We're also two extremely pale people. The coldest from whence we sprang. Yeah.
I do feel like it's like my ancestors crawling my skin back to where it was supposed to be.
There's no version of my past where I was in the sun. No. Look at me.
Wow.
I'd burn up in 10 seconds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So clearly sweaters belong on the old bear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you love October. What else you got in the database?
Doing a little bit of traveling. So that's fun.
Whereabouts? If you're allowed to say.
Yeah. Just Northern California. So just taking a little road trip.
Oh.
Yeah.
You like those Northern California road trips.
I do.
You like them. You're on them all the time, I feel like.
There's a lot of, right outside of LA, there's a lot of wonderful places to travel to. But when you go north, things get colder.
Sure.
There's some like beautiful areas up there. Ojai. It's also really pretty.
Ojai's
beautiful.
Interesting. And who makes the road trip playlist when you take a trip?
Good question. Usually me.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Usually me. Yes.
And do you ever strike the wrong note? Have you ever had a
I don't think so.
Okay. That's a tough skill.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I do sing a lot in the car. I do. Use it as like a mini karaoke sesh. That's how I know I married the right person.
Your home life is fucking majestic to me. Like it's cats, it's outrageous nudity.
Yes.
It's singing at inappropriate times.
Yes. People do not know how often I am just completely naked. It's most of the time.
I feel like it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Like, from what I've gathered from snippets and Twitters, I'm like, oh, you're like, this is how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Do you ever get burned out? Do you ever get naked burned out?
No.
Okay.
No,
I dated a woman once who was engaged, and she said that, not at the time, she was engaged before. She was like, yeah, we just got tired because we were always naked together. We just got tired of it. And I was like,
whoa.
And I was like, do you think that's like emblematic, or do you think it's, she's like, no, I think it's because like we just shouldn't have been naked all the time. And I was like, huh.
I think if you're with the wrong person, that may become a problem. But I think if you found the right person,
the boner never ceases swelling.
Yes, yeah. Basically.
Okay.
And everyone has different, sex drives and whatever. So
Sure, but if you don't have mine, you're wrong, I think is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precisely. It's not even really a sex thing. It's mostly like a freedom thing.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's, I think, what she was actually saying is that, like, it's not that it was sexual all the time. It's that, like, the line between sexual and not sexual got blurred and therefore obliterated. And therefore it all faded.
Oh,
I think that's what she was saying.
Wow.
But... You know, I don't want to speak for her. Right. I'm not her.
Let's call her up. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was with that?
So listen, anonymous lady. Let's speak about your previous nudity with your ex-boyfriend. Should we do that? Okay. So that's what we're doing at home, and we're feeling good.
Yeah.
And you're getting all kinds of new representation. You're just new representation pouring all over you.
Let's not, let's not jinx it. Let's knock on some woods. But yeah, we'll see. I've been talking.
Okay. And you feeling good?
Knocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I mean,
good.
Yeah.
Good. You need, I don't know. I mean, good. We'll representation's tough. Like, because it's like, even if you have it, is it going to make a difference?
Right. Sometimes not.
Well,
sometimes
all my filmmaker friends have basically... Everybody who's made some distinct move, the real representation came after that move, even if they had representation before.
Yes.
Is from what I can gather. But I don't know. Okay. Anything else to report, or shall I take the mic here?
I think that's it. Oh, I did decorate all of my apartment for Halloween. I should send you photos.
Thank you. That's all I want. I want I want to know what you did to that strange space. I haven't seen that space in like years.
Yeah.
It's been years.
Yeah.
Legit years.
We don't want you to come over and lose your nose.
I feel like I could do a few hours, like 2 hours probably with cats, maybe.
Okay.
Well, like maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then, turn into a pumpkin that you can't keep there. Okay. Well, maybe that'll be a plan. Yeah. Thank you for asking how I'm doing. So,
I did silent with my eyes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. She inquired with her eyebrows, like and you. Yeah. She's doing it now. So I'm like in that phase where like things have been going pretty good. Nothing exciting.
Right.
But like just a bunch of incremental progress.
Yes.
I'm writing a feature right now that is not good yet. And I don't know. Well, it may also never be good.
Right.
I wrote a noir film that I don't think is good yet. It's just not good yet. I don't know what it would take. Right. Actually, I have an idea about that one. But so I think maybe she's a cam girl. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like maybe the main character is a cam girl.
Which one?
The lead. instead of for the Church Noir one that I wrote.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that might be interesting. Like, so she's truly not part of this community anyway. Don't want to bore people with that. Yeah, I think that might be better.
That's really fun.
It's going to be more lurid, but that might be better. I don't know. You know? So
I mean, I like juxtaposition. So to me, that's like.
Well, I think that you need it in a noir. Like, you need to infiltrate a place you don't belong.
That's true. So anyway, and noir has the sexual overtones.
That's like half of why we're watching it. Yeah, exactly. It's half why we're watching it. Okay, so I've been in this other film is based loosely on my grandfather, and it's just one of those like slightly wacky dramas, and I just haven't so it's a little bit funny, but it's also just like kind of a high concept drama. And it's just, it's one of those first drafts where you're like, all right, I just got to knock this out and it's not going to be good.
Yes.
And so anyway, hopefully that'll be something. Swam and I are zeroing in on what we think will be the final draft of Screenwriting. I only say the name because it got on blacklist. I don't know if I mentioned that to you.
I think I did know that.
I don't know. Yeah, we had it. I don't know when the last time we talked was.
Brag about it.
What's that?
Brag about it.
Just it's not even a big deal, but like you've done the blacklist, right?
I have not, but I know.
But you know what it is, right? Yes. So those of you who don't know what it is, it's like basically like one of the bigger metrics for evaluating a script's potential according to their metric.
Yes.
Which is to say they're a gatekeeper and they have their own point of view.
Yes.
And when they like your stuff, it's great. And when they don't take it too hard. Like, that's kind of the deal. So we scored high enough that they tweeted us, which was like, oh, cool. And then apparently we had a bunch of people download it, but I don't know if anything's come of that.
Right,
maybe it will, maybe it won't, who knows. But it was just nice, like, oh, we're feeling pretty good, Wow. Like we both bought canes, twirling them around. So yeah.
Having read it, I can see why.
Yeah. I don't want to get into all the changes here. We are going to make it more solidly a horror film.
Fine. Okay.
Throughout.
Okay. Interest. Yes. I can see why. Yes.
That was a note. Yeah. So we're going to do that. We hope to one day in a couple years have a movie to show you. That would be a dream. Anyway, this is about the time where we launch into a second tangent that really pisses YouTube off, and we're not going to do it today, though.
Okay,
we're not going to do it.
Okay, we'll reel it in.
We're going to reel it in.
You guys.
We're going to be humans, and part of our humanity will be that we're going to read the producers' names who made all of this possible. I have them right here. I'm going to forward them to you, but also you can just look on either way for you, Mags. So here is a list of producers who subscribe to the Show Me Producer tier on our Patreon, Smallbeans, patreon.com/smallbeans. And what they get for that is, number one, this. Thank you. And also they get to vote on what the topics are. This is a topic that was selected by them. And they get to suggest topics. And they can just email us whenever they want with stuff to say.
Yeah.
A thing they're not doing that often, and I really wish they would.
I mean...
Like, I don't want to tell which of them specifically should be doing a Jeff Beef, but I think that, they really ought to consider it.
Hotel. Just, just an idea.
You love him so much.
I do.
All right, you ready to think?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, thanks to Dave Ruff.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, there he is. Thanks to Etan Campion Mason.
Wow.
Etan? I might have butchered that.
I mean,
I want you to
please
know.
Correct us, because I want to know.
There's a running back on the Jacksonville Jaguars whose last name is Etan, and I couldn't get him in fantasy, and I wanted him. I really wanted him.
Especially if that's a first name. That's like beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm glad I got this a teen at least.
Yes.
Add him to my
that's true.
To my roster. Thanks to Tim of the North.
Thank you, Tim of the North.
Deserved it in song. Thanks to Math Demigod.
Math Demigod.
What if their godhood is like they only get one function? So like this god is the god of subtraction.
Ooh, that would be low on like the rung.
You don't want to be that
There's
one.
a lot of math.
I'd rather be like factorial god,
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, multiplying shit in sequence.
Yes.
What about calculus demigod?
Ooh, oh my God.
You're an inscrutable mist.
Right.
You're just like a tangled web of snakes. Did
you ever do matrices?
Of course I did.
Oh my God, those are so fun.
I liked them too.
I would be the god of matrices.
You know what I'd be the god of if it was math demigod?
What?
Chess, which is what we played instead of doing math in my math class.
God.
It was great. Loved it. Thanks so much to Driftless.
Thank you, Driftless.
I've never seen this person, but I believe they're beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I can. They kind of shimmer in my mind.
You know, there's some people that just like come in and out of your life.
Yeah.
And it's like, it can't be contained.
The heavens came down for just one moment.
Yes.
And I beheld their glory.
Yes. I like to think I'm that for some jealous exes, but you know.
Jealous exes. You don't even want somebody to experience it in a positive way. I like to think my presence is punishment because of the thing they're missing.
Yeah. You know.
I don't think I've ever been that blessing to anyone.
You never know.
Oh, I do know. I don't think so. I do not
You've
think so.
gotten reports back.
They're like, we didn't miss you.
That's funny.
I agree. I like self-deprecating humor, just like Evan Fineout.
Evan Fineout.
Could have been a Gen X comedian. That's how much he likes self-deprecation.
That is kind of a Gen X thing.
Why do you think I do it, bro?
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm a cusper.
That's true.
I'm like hiding between both generations.
That's true. I have like 3 friends that's your age.
My age. Yeah.
Yes. I like it. It's fun.
I love the part of me that's still Gen X.
Yeah.
You know, I don't miss it. I don't. There's parts. Although, by the way, do you read like polls and shit?
No.
Gen X is the one that's like super messing everything up politically.
Really?
Yes. I don't know why.
Oh, weird.
It's wild. Like for instance, forgive me, and I lean Democrat.
Yes.
Solidly.
Don't forgive Adam. Do not.
Sure. So, which is to say, if you're somehow a Republican and interested in this podcast, know that I don't agree with you about that.
Yes.
So, it turns out like in the next upcoming election, you know, like there's this like who's going to win, Republicans or Democrats.
Right.
The group that most solidly leans Republican is all Gen X.
That's so interesting.
It's 45 to 65, so it's a little bit of boomer too, but.
We should talk about this one because
that's weird.
It's
right?
weird.
Why is that?
Right. Like to me, you guys are the rebels. They're like, fuck you, you know.
Like what happened here?
Yeah.
Is it that they got property? Is that what it is? Is it just money?
Right.
No, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But you know,
you're the punk rock era.
I'm also like a California hipster dude. What do I know about anything? Okay. I mean, other than everything. Get real. Did you want to thank this next person?
Yes. Oh, I got it up.
Okay, you got it up.
Thank you so much, King Donna.
Really trying hard to bring that monarchy over this podcast.
Yes,
Not going to happen, but I appreciate
it. And I don't want you to stop trying either.
Maggie loves your horse shit.
I do.
So Maggie's a fan. Okay, great. Keep going.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff Beef.
Thanks to Jeff Beef. Jeff, where's our email? Can we just say that? Where's our email?
Yes.
We really, every week we check like maybe this is the beef week.
Right.
Never comes.
Adam religiously, pun intended, checks the emails.
That's right. It is a prayerful spiritual experience.
Yes. And usually it's empty. Cricket.
It's a test, isn't it? Isn't it, Lord?
Please.
Where is my
bring
beef?
meaning to this.
Why? That's pretty good. I enjoy that idea. Thanks to Luke Andrew.
Thank you, Luke Andrew.
2 first name guy.
Yes, very like Americana.
Yeah. Oh,
yes. Yeah. It's kind of like.
This guy plays like a trombone or whatever.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, you know?
Yes, in like a Music Man type band, you know?
Yeah. By the way, did you play that fucking trombone game? Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I have not played it, but I know it.
So good. It's the best thing I've ever seen. It makes all music better. Just like put that trombone on every fucking thing. It's so good. It's a really good game.
Wow, your enthusiasm is.
I love it. Yeah. It's so dumb. It's like this guy's a fucking genius. The person who put this together is like Wordle level genius.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I think Wordle's also genius, right? It's like, trombones are instinctively funny. Good work, bro. Thanks for the reminder. Maggie's dying of coughing. We're leaving it in. We're leaving it all in. Thanks so much to Bro J.
Thank you, Bro J.
Bro J. Like a wink with that name, right?
Yeah. Bro J. You know a lot of bros, but you're the J.
Yeah, you're the J. Fair enough.
Yep.
A fairly innocuous reading of that name, but I'm glad that you got us out of that. Maggie's coughing is punishment.
I was afraid I had cat scratch fever.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, because my cat scratched me, which my cat has never scratched me before.
What?
And then it was itchy.
It's like it's barely a cat.
The next day I had a throat tickle. Negative.
Oh, do you get a fever for that?
Kind of.
What?
I mean, it was symptoms are the place of impact is itchy. and you can get a little throat tickle. I mean, it's very mild.
So it's like the allergy gets dug into you. That's the idea. Wow, weird. That's fucking weird, bro. Yeah. We got to zip this along because now YouTube's literally coming after me. They were drawing our button, bro. Thanks to Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa.
Holding up that one name like a champion.
I know. I like that name
like
too.
An Excalibur of names. Love it. Thanks to Adam by the Birch. My favorite metaphor as a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that's really his name. Or his parents named him by the. That's his middle name.
Oh my God.
Your father's middle name. By the.
And they didn't change it. That's a character flaw.
Sure. Thanks to Stephen Asarian.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much.
Nut thief.
Sure. Why not?
You know, it's a thing. Have you heard about this?
Yes. Wait, weren't we at Cracked where we had a long...
Yes, we did. That was my favorite idea that Dan ever brought.
I know.
I mean, the man has a lot of good ideas. I'm not saying he doesn't. But that one was like such a home run. I wish we'd done it. I loved it so much.
I know.
The idea briefly was there is a real phenomenon in which millions of dollars of nuts are stolen every year from California and sold on the black market. What does that fucking mean? I love it so much. Amazing. We were going to do a documentary podcast series, but then then the site just imploded.
Yes.
So that's it. And finally, for now, thanks to Michael, the secret is celery is 95% water and 100% not pizza. Hudson.
Wow. Is that why I hate celery?
Could be.
That could be. I usually think it's just stringy.
Finally got to the bottom of that. I like celery.
Do you?
Am I the only weirdo?
To me, it's a pure texture thing. It's just the stringy, and you take a bite, and it's like. I
don't mind that it tastes like wax, like watery wax.
I just there's like little
tendrils. Little tendrils you hate. I understand. I understand, and yet I really like it. So I don't know. And also, this is the person who you're going to please so deeply with this particular entrant into the because we're going to be talking about the album you inherited from your parents today. Yes. So, Mags, I believe it's your turn to pick.
Who goes first?
That's correct. That's our system now.
Ooh, okay. Let's start with yours.
Oh,
yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, my pick, which I'm very surprised. I really, really thought about this for about 3 hours before I gave you it.
Wow.
Because. Well, I'll say this in a minute. I'll tell you what the pick is. The pick was the self-titled Carpenters album from 1971.
1971.
It'd been decades since I'd listened to it.
Wow.
Decades.
Wow.
So, it's just not... Which is to say, my parents don't have music that they passed on. Like, if I really was going to pick, it would be like, Beethoven and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's what they like. They listen to Christian music, like praise music.
Yes.
And they listen to like
classical.
Beethoven, Mozart, Bach.
That's probably why you're so smart, though.
Maybe. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Like, I thought about maybe like Handel's Messiah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But again, it's like, I don't want to talk about religious music on this podcast. It just doesn't feel like the right place for that to me. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. So I had to what is music that they actually listen to that I think is good and is part of my life in some way.
Right.
And I landed on the Carpenters. I landed on the Carpenters.
Oh my God.
When was the last time you listened to the Carpenters?
Oh my God. I don't know. It was funny while listening to this. I was just like, it's kind of just like wakes up memories.
Yeah.
Especially move. I mean, it's so kind of like ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. Yeah.
That's
it is everywhere.
It is
they
everywhere.
Did permeate everywhere.
Yes. From old films to new, it's
they're still around.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much like comparing the Beatles is but in the same way, where you hear a song, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot it was on this album. I forgot it's been on this long.
There, there's a lot of bands who kind of they're flying under the surface of recognition. We know them, but their music's in more stuff than you think.
Yeah.
And you just are like, oh.
Yeah.
I would say maybe even The Who or the Kinks are in that zone.
Yes. Yeah.
It's there's a lot of Kinks stuff out there. And you probably haven't heard it all, you know? And The Carpenters are definitely that band.
Yeah.
Like they're in so many things, and their music is everywhere, but you never. I feel like my generation and younger didn't pick up with them really.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't like carry them. They're not Joni Mitchell.
Right.
They're not ABBA. They don't scan like that, right?
Why do you think that is? Because I think
it's
that
sad.
too.
It's sad, and it's also very. I think their music is very contemplative and very melancholy and like sort of fragile. There's a real fragility to their music that I love. But that kind of stuff just doesn't. It's not fun, so it doesn't carry over. I don't think.
Stick it in Parent Trap, during
not really,
right?
Except for the part where it's raining and she's like, "Oh, if only I had a sister," or whatever.
You've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's just like it's not to say that sad music can't carry.
Right, but it's harder to.
But you think about who are all the famous acts that you remember. Most of them are poppy and not this. With rare exceptions.
Right.
And time is
or came later, but we're clearly kind of inspired by this in a way.
I guess like think of another act that's like mostly sad that scans for people that's carried over even one generation. Can you think of one? I mean, Radiohead, I guess.
Yeah.
But Radiohead's getting harsh feedback these days.
Right. What's the album of the two people who dated, but then they separated?
White Stripes?
No.
I mean, yes, but no,
yes,
not that.
But not that. Mountain song about getting older.
Fleet Foxes? Yeah.
Build my life.
I know the song
around you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because also like a lot of our sad music is relegated to country.
True.
Like country of is where that really belongs.
Right.
Actually, there's like a really good podcast series by Malcolm Gladwell on this subject. He did like a really good revisionist history on country music and its ability to more accurately capture sad feelings. And I was like, that's fucking smart, Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not always right, but when he is, he knows what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, country is tantamount to blues, which is literally
where it
let
belongs.
us put, noise to this feeling that pit of my stomach.
But we don't even, again, like we don't make that much blues stuff either.
Oh yeah, and that also feels very specific.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, certainly, I guess I'm being a little bit wholesale. Like certainly jazz and like there's a lot of that.
Sure.
Like Miles Davis, a lot of his stuff is melancholy in a great way. One day I hope that we can cover Kind of Blue, a record that's just so fucking good. I just want the right time to cover it.
Right.
I play that for students when they walk in and they're like, this is really good. I'm like, he's probably the best musician we've ever made in this country.
Yes.
And they're like, really? Yeah, Miles Davis.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I've heard the name. Why would they hear him?
Right. Yeah.
But then you listen to her like, oh, he's incredible. Like, yeah, Miles Davis rules. Anyway, the Carpenters.
Yes. So how did your parents play? Like, what was the situation in which you were hearing this?
The only time we had music on, there was only like 2 times that would happen. It's driving around. Or it's like somebody's working, like both parents are working on something. So like dad's doing yard work, mom's doing like cleaning and or arranging something. Like, so they're both at work, then they would have music going. Otherwise, because of my mom, it was like quiet. We wanted quiet in the home. Like that's kind of, it wasn't like you're not allowed to talk.
Right.
It was just like she's a peace and quiet person. That's who she is. So like we didn't have music on very much. The funny thing is about the Carpenters, it's not so much their music. It's that the Carpenters always make me think of my mom.
Aww.
Always. Because my mom loves music. Loves it. And my mom is a soloist.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a beautiful singer. Her music has been central to her life, her whole life.
Wow.
Like, I understand some people don't care about this. Her conversion to Christianity is in part because of music. Music was the connecting point for her.
That makes sense. I think it is for a lot of people. I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
Like she went to, anyway. When she went to a college to study music, actually.
Whoa.
Like music is her life. She teaches kids choir at church. She has been in choirs her whole life. Mm-hmm. Everywhere they go to a new church, the choir has to have a choir. Mm-hmm. And the Carpenters make me think of her because my mom sounds a little like Karen Carpenter. Oh, just a little bit when she sings. Like her voice, the quality of her voice reminds me of my mom's voice a little bit.
Aww.
I hope she never hears this because I don't want to embarrass her.
Oh, sure.
I think my mom is a beautiful singer. I also think she's, I think her voice is a very soft, fragile voice.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
like she's not Mariah Carey.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of singers who are that, like who can really belt it. Karen Carpenter is not a belt it person.
No.
She's pensive. You kind of have to come to her. She's very internal and but she has a real spirit in her and her music's quite exquisite, I think.
Yeah. The vulnerability that
she's very
conveys.
vulnerable.
Yes. Like through, I mean, both the lyrics, but as you mentioned, also just like the vulnerability of her voice while singing feels delicate. Yeah.
So much. And it's just like, you know, there's songs that you probably recognize on here, like Rainy Days and Mondays, which is great. There's that song that was, I believe it's on this record, that was in Tommy Boy.
Yes.
Very famously, like, I can change it if you want to. It's all you, man. And then they're both singing it, and it's great. But, you know, the songs are always a sad person who lost.
Yes.
Like this person who, and I don't want to say loser, it's not the right word, but somebody who it didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
You know, the narratives are always, it didn't work out for this person. And I think that's just who she was. And I think it's a credit to my mom that she didn't become that person.
Right.
She could have become that person.
Yeah.
The things in her life that led to where she is could have made her that way. I think maybe even her temperament could have pushed her that way. But she works really hard not to be that person.
Wow.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. Like she could be, like, for instance, I have a weight problem. I've had it my whole life. She could too. But she's like just incredibly disciplined about what she eats.
Wow.
She's just like that.
Right.
And it's so surprising because you wouldn't think it about her. Because she's pretty soft and light in general.
Right.
She's tough.
Yeah.
She's got a toughness underneath it that doesn't get appreciated by most people.
Do you think, I mean, it almost feels like informative of like someone who is able to sing and express vulnerability, like in a way also kind of not have to be, but
you gotta have something tough in you.
Yeah.
You gotta have something in you. Like, you know who, like, this is another dumb connection, but it's as a metaphor, it works. When I think of my mom, I think about hobbits from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yes.
I love Lord of the Rings, by the way. The last couple months have been like, reminded me how important I think it is.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yes.
The Ring of Power show has been like, fuck, this is so good. And not even because it's interesting, just because the world is amazing and I love it. Thank God somebody put that much money into it. Hobbits, I have a soft place in my heart for hobbits. I don't think they're the most interesting characters.
Right.
But they're regular people with fears.
Yeah.
And they're not big enough for the moment.
Yes.
And yet they have to rise to it.
They are into this universe
they're
of like
thrown into these.
Yeah.
And they are the everyman that's out of their depth.
Yes.
That's what their job is.
Yes.
And they have such practical worldviews, really, like nostalgic and sweet, but also fiercely practical. And my mom's like that. My mom is a person who I think, and I don't mean to belittle her. Yeah. I think she's the kind of person who most people would not think of as powerful.
Oh, sure. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
She's not like a look at me kind of person at all.
Right.
But she's got a little fire in her. You know, I've seen her sing at funerals and at weddings, and she'll get up there and solo and with her eyes closed, like she can't look at the audience. Yeah. But she'll nail it.
Wow.
I've seen her ferociously compete for solos. I've seen her have really transcendent moments as a singer.
Wow.
And it's like, you know, like that's one of her many gifts. Like, but it's a really, you see it. It's like, that's your gift. That's what you were here to do.
That's so cool.
You know? Yeah. And she's found a great place to do it. And it gives me some joy to think of her doing it because she loves it so much.
Yes.
And my dad, bless his heart, I think he's grown to love it in his own right.
Right.
But he's always in the choir too.
Really?
Always in the choir too.
Aww,
he always goes. He always sings.
Oh my God.
You know,
that's cute.
And I don't know how I sometimes I should have a chat with my dad because I want to know, does he love choir for his sake or does he love it for her sake? I don't know.
Right.
It had to have started as for her sake, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
It's one of the sweet things about their relationship. The Carpenters, I guess I've gone on and on, but
well, I was going to ask, so when your mom, would play this while everyone's working, would she sing along with it? Oh my God.
She would. I can remember it in my mind's eye a few times. And one thing, I always got confused when I was really young about, was it her or Karen Carpenter singing?
Oh, that's so cute. That's such like a wonderful
when I got older,
kid memory.
I know which one's which. But when I was like a really little kid, she really liked Karen Carpenter. I think, I have a feeling that at some point started to feel sad. She's like, I don't need that. I don't need to, I think that's what happened.
Right.
There's a couple other connecting points. Karen Carpenter's from the same city that my mom was from.
Oh, whoa.
Went to the same high school, I think.
Whoa. Yeah. That is highly,
they might actually have known each other. I don't know. Right. It's possible they knew each other.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's, I don't want to say that and be like, it happened.
You got to ask her.
Well, let's see. Her album came out in 1971. That would have, no, they probably missed each other.
Yeah.
But
regardless, that's
pretty close.
A connection.
Pretty close. Pretty close. And I also, maybe there's also the eating thing actually makes me think, because again, my mom has been so rigid about her weight and eating for years and years. And if you know anything about the Carpenters, she's the first major fatality to anorexia.
Oh, I did not know that.
She is the reason anorexia became a national news story.
Wow, I did not know that.
It's terrible. Aww. It's really terrible. Yeah. She died really young.
Oh, man.
Of I think heart failure because of her anorexia. No. And if you look at the pictures, it's oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where the whole picture adds up to it. Everything's been building to it. And you're just no.
That's so
it was
sad.
A real tragedy, like a distorted self tragedy. One that we don't talk about as much culturally as we used to, but her death was the thing that put it on the horizon for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if not directly, even just someone, things like that. The way you think about yourself influences the way you see the world. Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And Karen Carpenter's story really makes me think about that, just this was already a sort of beat down person and who had this incredible gift and just could not see the beauty she was putting into the world. She just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how my mom views her gift. I'd be curious. There's a way to find that out without
putting her
getting,
on the spot.
There's a way. I'll figure out a way to do that. She's become a pretty good friend in my adulthood.
Aww.
She's a pretty good friend.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but she's pretty good at it. She really works hard at it. She doesn't like the stuff I write. She doesn't like my movies. She hates my movies.
Yes.
Hates them.
I think you told me that before.
She just hates them. Every time she reads one, she hates it. Every time she watches one, she hates it. But not thinks it's bad. Hates it I don't like this. I don't want, And yet she every single day will pray about it.
Aww.
Every time I see her, we'll ask for updates. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just the effort.
That is absolutely, yes. That is a way for her to,
It's a way for her to be a friend to her adult child.
Yeah.
And she's really worked hard at that in her adulthood, and I respect her for it. I respect her for it. I don't know if I have much more to say. If we covered do we need to talk about the music at all? I feel like
I think if someone doesn't, or they're like, oh, the Carpenters, that sounds familiar. If they just listen to a couple songs on this record, they'll be like, oh, okay.
Just listen to the first one, Rainy Days and Mondays. You've heard it,
yes,
and it'll be you got the vibe, that's the Carpenters vibe. They got a very gentle, slightly melancholic, really beautiful vibe. Honestly, it's the same quality that I like in Radiohead, but they have a much harder edge, and much more complexity, which I like. But it's the same quality.
Right. It's almost like the, pared down.
Yeah, they're an evolved version.
Yes. absolutely.
They're an evolved version of similar sentiments, I think. Shall we talk about Maggie's legacy?
Sure.
The legacy of her father, I believe, right?
Yes. Although I will add that my mom also has, both of my parents have good taste in music.
Yeah, they're probably hipper than my parents were.
Yeah. At least in music wise, they set me up pretty well.
Okay.
I won't complain.
Well, certainly one of our patrons will be thrilled by this moment.
Yes.
So would you care to list the album that we'll be talking about?
So my album passed down to me from my father is The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
It's a great record. Dark Side of the Moon. You know, so does he like The Wall? Does your dad like The Wall?
Yes, likes The Wall.
But this one better. This is more the one.
This one, I think we just happened to play more.
Okay.
But I mean,
it's a lot more accessible. Let's be honest.
It's not more accessible. No. But he had like 7 records that are like ingrained into, we would literally call it Dad's cleaning music. It has 7 albums of Dad's cleaning music that just
7 albums
on repeat. There's David Bowie in there, a lot of Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin.
Sure, it's all 70s classics.
Yes, all like the 70s classics. Yes.
We never listened to Zeppelin in my house. I'll tell you that,
really?
right? No.
Wow.
Zeppelin was,
Oh, sure.
Zeppelin was part of the Satanic Panic.
They
were like the centerpiece of that.
That's right.
They were the
this is
centerpiece
making my
of
dad
that.
seem pretty cool in comparison.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So
even Nirvana, he would
listen
have.
to Nirvana.
Yes.
God, I don't want to take your thunder, so I don't want to get into it.
All right.
Sometime we'll talk about the day my parents confiscated all my music and read the lyrics with a side-by-side guide from Focus on the Family and decided whether I could keep all my records. Oh my God. Yes, this happened.
Okay, we will absolutely have to get into that today.
That really happened.
Wow.
Yes.
So
anyway, that didn't happen to you, clearly.
No, quite the opposite. I remember looking at the album of Diamond Dogs and asking my dad if this was a boy or a girl about David Bowie on the cover. My dad was like, he's David Bowie. You know, sometimes he dresses like a woman, sometimes he dresses like a man, but he's one of the best singers in the world.
But he's one of the best singers. Yeah, well, he's right.
He's right. I know.
Was your dad, how old was your dad when he had you? Am I allowed to, is that too personal?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Just roughly.
I think they were about 31, 32.
Okay, so they were a little older than my parents were when they had me. My dad was like 25 and my mom was 23.
Wow.
Really young. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So so they might be actually around the same age actually, or close.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. They're probably close.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So every Sunday, it'd be cleaning day. My dad would, every Sunday, he would blast. My dad had great sound system.
This was his thing.
This was his thing.
He's doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Which my mother also utilized. My mother loved the Beatles, loved ABBA, loved,
that's why you love ABBA so much.
That's
Okay,
why
great.
I love ABBA.
Great.
So she would also utilize it. They had a lot of crossover likes.
Sure.
But Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, picture Maggie, 6 years old,
painted entirely gold.
Painted in gold. This album would be blasting throughout my entire house, and I'd be in my room having cleaned up a little bit, but it looks fine, and my parents aren't gonna yell at me.
They don't care.
They don't care. I pull out my craft drawer, which was under my bed, and it was just a giant thing of craft and garbage that my mom would give me to make crafts out of.
Oh, that's cute though.
Yes.
You had a little craft drawer?
Yes.
That's cute.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, great.
I would just sit and make little nothings with my craft drawer as I sang along to all of these songs. Yes. Money.
Here's a hot gun glue.
Yeah, basically. Yes.
Meanwhile, you're gluing shit together. Interesting.
Yes. So it was both a background soundtrack to just a lot of my alone time, but also my dad, he's a very philosophical person in a way.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's very thoughtful.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. And he's also, I'm sure I mentioned this, a very in touch with his emotions type guy. Yes.
Yeah. Not afraid to show emotion either.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I admire about him. Yeah.
So a lot of these songs were, we'd also be listening to them in the car. And I remember listening to this album in the car and the line, hanging on in desperation is the English way. My dad pauses it and he goes, that's one of my favorite lyrics of all time. He's like, just the weight of it.
He just looks you in the eyes again. Hanging on desperation.
And he's like, just like he would be expressed,
so he's him. He's really imparting this to you.
Yes.
He's really like, I want you to know why I care about this.
Yes, I want you to know why I am playing, like why this means, or why it moves me.
You soak that up.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely. The, in Time, there's a
Time's great.
Time is fantastic.
Good track.
Great track. There's that lyric that's like, you wake up and suddenly 10 years have passed you by. Yep. My dad was like, it really is like that. I remember looking at you and you were just a tiny, tiny little girl. And now look at you. You're 7 years old.
That's so cute.
I know.
It's adorable.
I know. And he was like, it's both a joy because I love seeing you grow, but it's also you can't believe how fast time goes. And so like a lot of these songs, express like, things that like
there's a sentimentality to this record
that
infuses it, but it's not the primary feeling you get from it. Like the primary feeling is a little bit more like a little bit of like paranoia, and I think some
the screw,
and some resistance. Like there's a little bit of like I don't like this. I don't like the way things are. But like underneath it, there is there's a sweetness to it.
Right. And it makes sense. Well, the record was, written in a way for Sid Barrett, their former singer. Yes. Yeah. Right. So like that wistfulness and that longing that is in the record.
It's funny because like younger rock bands rarely capture these emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the rock acts that I like that got older, they started to capture it when they got older. I mean, it's definitely in like a young man's nostalgia form. Like it's definitely like a Holden Caulfield kind of sensitivity, but that's not bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's again, it's rare. I'm like thinking, okay, Wilco did this a little bit. Like there's not that many bands though. That are like sort of wistful and nostalgic. The dreaded band everyone hates but me. U2 also does this a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
So I have this distinct memory of my parents having a bunch of friends over for New Year's Eve. And it was before I had any interest in staying up to midnight, really. And they, of course, were watching Wizard of Oz.
Oh, they did the thing
with the dark side of the moon.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's all. That's the thing.
Yes.
So maybe we should say it because the time might have forgotten this.
Oh, sure.
But so one thing that was cool about this record is that it was like sort of urban legend that you could start the Wizard of Oz at basically right at the point where she gets taken to away from Kansas, right?
Yes, if you look it up online,
there's a specific place.
Yes.
And if you start it there, this album is like a perfect soundtrack to the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Like it just fits it in this really like hand in glove way.
Yeah.
And it's like this alternative way to watch the movie. That's really cool.
It's so cool.
I feel like everybody my age and older tried it.
Right. Yes. I've done it. And it was cool to see like
it's
my parents doing like, whoa.
That's fun.
I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but Wizard of Oz is like my mother's like mecca of
Wizard of Oz is weird because everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
Like, again, I hate to use my job as the validation of everything. But like, I ask a 19-year-old film student what they've seen. They've seen Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's just weird that one has, like, they haven't seen Star Wars or The Godfather or, any of those movies, but they've seen Wizard of Oz. I don't know what it is about that movie.
Yeah, there is something magical. The way that my mom describes it, well, the running joke was that we would watch any movie, and anytime there was anything slightly like The Wizard of Oz, she would say, they copied that from Wizard of Oz. Which was, yes.
That's Oz. They got that. That's Oz.
That's Oz. Which
I
was,
love it.
I know.
She's like a watchdog for Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Sorry, did you get permission? Did you license that shit?
Right. That
belongs
is from
to Wizard of Oz.
That exact shot.
Bring that shit back down the Yellow Brick Road, motherfucker.
Give credit's due. But the doubly funny thing about that is that she's usually right. The shot is usually a reference to Wizard of Oz.
It's like one of the 4 most famous movies ever made.
Yes.
And most quoted in weirdly.
Yeah.
Parodied and also just accidentally quoted, like it's almost, I mean, it's certainly more ostensibly quoted. It's like more quoted in some ways than like Birth of a Nation, which invented film genre, like the film mechanics. And that's a horrible movie. Don't watch it.
Yes.
Horrible movie.
Yes.
On every level. But it's so, I don't know what it is about. I mean, I guess because it was the first color movie. I don't know. It's just a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of lore to it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so
you did that. You okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So how much do you listen to this record now? Now that time has passed.
Still basically all the time.
It's so good.
Yes.
Like I personally prefer The Wall, but I can't listen to The Wall anytime. Yeah. I can listen to this anytime.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, do you want to know when I heard it the first time?
Yes, I do.
So I worked after I got kicked out of the church. I worked, by the way, I'm going to clarify what I mean by that someday.
Someday.
Not today.
No.
And not to all of you.
No.
But I will clarify what I mean by that. I got a job as a barista at a Borders.
Oh, yes.
So, which was an interesting crop of people. It's it's a swath of people I never interacted with, really.
Yeah.
Like, there were all these like snobs and like, book and music snobs, which ultimately is what I am. So that was interesting. And this one guy was like, just one day I was like closing up and I was like blasting, I was closing up the coffee bar, which meant I sort of had my own sound system and I was like just playing something really dumb. And he was like, have you ever like listened to good music? Legit question.
Thank you,
and I was like,
gallery.
Yeah. And I was like, well, he had to hear it a little bit, so I don't totally blame him. I was like, well, what is that to you? What do you mean by that? And like, I think the second or third thing he suggested was this. The White Album was the first thing he suggested, which I had never heard. Wow. Yeah. It's amazing. Wow. It was like White Album was
this
incredible.
man my father? No.
Yeah. No, you're like some ghost. Right. Yeah, exactly. No, so like I listened to it for the first time when I was like closing. I was like 23 and I was closing up this coffee shop and it was just so special.
Yes.
Like I have no nostalgia for it. It was just like, this is amazing.
It really transports you. Yeah.
Like because Pink Floyd is not like really any other band from its time because number one, it's like stoner music in a not jam bandy way.
Right.
It's not Grateful Dead, right? It's like getting on that train.
Yeah.
How cocaine. It's not like having a good time jam rock. It's like we're on a fucking journey, motherfucker.
We're gonna look at the end of our life and then work backwards.
Yeah, you're gonna like discover the meaning and forget it again.
Yeah,
It's that, right? That's the vibe on Pink Floyd. And it really transports you. The songs kind of blend into each other in a way.
As a kid, I loved that.
It's so great. It's a concept album.
Yeah.
I mean, all their good ones are concept albums. Yeah, I mean, so if you're a person who's like younger than 30, and you might be, and haven't heard it, like I really think you're gonna like it. It's got a kind of transcendent quality. I really can't recommend it enough.
Yes. Oh, I will also recommend. Yes, if you're listening to it for the first time, one of my good friends, Polyphonic, who is a YouTuber. And a great person, has a companion video for every single one of these songs. Yes.
That's pretty chill.
It is great. It has great visuals too.
Pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Yeah, so check that out.
Well played. I hope Michael Hudson, who had the big long ass joke, leave us alone now. All right, now leave us alone.
Right.
We've heard enough.
Yes.
We've heard enough. Otherwise, that weird ball and butt sack, that butt and ball sack from the Wall movie is going to judge you, bro.
Oh, my
Remember
God.
that fucking judge?
Yes.
It's like an ass and a ball sack.
The whole last
He's going to sit on you, bro.
That. Right.
Yeah, that. So I saw that when I was 13. Totally different thing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about that.
Tell that story some of the time.
Great.
Okay, great. Time to thank some producers on our home stretch here.
Yes.
And let's start with hometown favorite, bat and clean up here, Nicholas Fabian.
Thank you, Nicholas Fabian.
Love him so much.
Yes.
Thanks to Fart Sandwich.
Yes, with a PH.
Yeah, which made it like it's like a fart joke with a tuxedo on it.
Or yeah. Oh, the tuxedo T-shirt on.
It's about right. Yeah. It's like a fake dressed up joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Still about farts though. So how far did we get? Right. Really? Okay. Thanks to Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
You know what I appreciate about Nate? Clean cut.
Yeah. Like he learned how to trim his own,
Yeah. He's got sideburns. Kind of like Jake Tapper's got sideburns.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that lately?
No.
Jake Tapper's a CNN anchor. And once in a while I'll just catch him. And he had sideburns the other day.
Are they back?
That's the first question. It's like, are we doing this? Because I know where I can do a lot of shit with that.
I've heard
like
mustaches are
again?
back, but they'll come
Mustaches have a year every 20 years.
I love them though.
I like them too. In 2005, they had a non-ironic comeback.
Yeah.
And then they had an ironic comeback that went on forever.
Right. I think they're back to non-ironic.
Yeah.
It's back to like,
I don't hate it.
Me either.
It's fine. Okay. Thanks to Adam Duncan.
Thank you, Adam Duncan.
Thanks to brain in a slightly larger than average jar.
Oh, what is that?
An utterly meaningless metaphor,
right.
though.
Is the brain larger or is it just the jar? It seems like just the jar.
That's right. They wanted you to think about it.
Right.
But really, the underlying metaphor here is that the brain is larger as though that meant anything. But it doesn't.
It does not. Just more unused
Brain
space.
yourself on that, bros.
Yes.
That's right. Thanks to Sarah Sexton.
Thank you, Sarah Sexton.
Our favorite Catholic administrator.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Thanks to Timothy Schreiner.
Timothy Schreiner.
Thanks to Nikolai Glecker.
Nikolai.
That's a name.
Glecker. Wow.
Nikolai, that guy's like a rubber plant manager.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I love names like Nikolai. I have a friend who is Ukrainian, and every single one of their siblings just wonderful.
They're all
names.
Nikolais. It's just a country full of Nikolais. Nikolai is a great name.
Yes.
But also like Mr. Glecker.
I mean,
that's a home run of a name. That guy could run a laser tag facility.
You can do anything.
That guy could be like chief archmage of the librarians, like anything. Mr. Glecker. Weigh in. Dr. Glecker. Even considered let's earn it first. Let's see your thesis, okay? Thanks to Cake Meister.
Thanks, Cake Meister.
Thanks to Jesse Clay.
Jesse Clay.
Thanks to Rye Wyke.
Rye Wyke.
Thanks to Sean Bibinet.
Sean Bibinet.
Thanks to Ben.
Ben.
Thanks to Mackenzie Chill.
Mackenzie Chill. Thank you very much.
Seems handsome.
Oh, sure.
If I had to guess handsome out of this list, I think Mackenzie Chill's skating away with it, don't you?
I think so too. Yeah.
He's got sideburns.
Yes.
100%.
You could win a hometown beauty pageant for sure.
What population does that town have? 10,000. You're right.
Yeah, thank you.
30,000.
Nice
It's
do
like,
I want to be?
30,000. It's like, wait a minute, bro.
Yeah.
You're trying to move to Hollywood?
You're
Where are we
right,
here?
right.
Okay. I think that's right. Thanks to Joel Harper.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah, archivist at the local records vault.
Oh, sure.
Records vaults are a thing. They do, I found out. Wow. It's like where they store deeds.
Oh.
Yeah, deeds and like property and titles and shit. Like in a vault I discovered. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
I guess.
Isn't that interesting?
Tell me
Joel
that's
Harper
interesting.
does that.
Oh, wow.
Cool, Joel Harper.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to Garrett Cooper.
Thank you, Garrett. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving on the Cooper, Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Thanks to Benjamin Egan.
Thank you, Benjamin
whose
Egan.
family crest has an eagle on it.
Of course.
Right?
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah. They also wear capes to most dinner parties.
Oh, well, they are uninvited.
Are you kidding? They're the fucking guests of honor. They got a whole family of capes. Wait a minute. You see a 3-year-old walking in with a cape, you're giving that person a lamb chop immediately.
Okay, you're right.
Here's a lamb chop.
Right.
Didn't cook lamb. You deserve one. Yeah. Thanks to Christopher Quattroche.
Oh, what a fun name.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's real.
Yeah. I mean, all these people are liars.
Oh, sure.
None of them are people.
Baseline liars.
This is all AI right here. This is all Google farts, you know? PHARTS.
Yes.
Put a tuxedo shirt on. So, thanks to Breezy.
Thank you, Breezy. Thank you so much.
Love her.
Yeah.
Gotta love her.
Oh, my God.
Queen of basketballs. Yeah. Did you know they have a queen of that? They do. It's her.
Wow.
Yeah. She's the only monarch too allowed in sports.
I believe, and for good reason.
Oh yeah.
Keep him out. Yeah.
She there's kind of a trial run on her monarchy, and if she does well, perhaps we'll have an emperor of football.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Wow.
Hope she paves the way. Thanks to Kyle Schrotel.
Thank you, Kyle Schrotel.
Where's our email, bro?
Yeah. Still waiting on the email. And I guess I'll be waiting for a very long time.
Address it to Maggie. Her feelings are hurt.
Yes,
Get your shit together. Thanks to Faye in a way.
Faye in a way.
Her name really is like chocolatey, isn't it?
Every time I say it.
It's just like buttery smooth, rolls off the tongue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just also could have been mispronouncing it all these years.
I know.
I hope I have not been.
I mean, so far
So far not.
Yeah.
And if we have, we're sorry. I love you. Please don't hurt us. Please don't hate us.
Don't hurt Adam. I don't mind.
Maggie likes it when it hurts.
I like it.
All right. Probably offended that person. Woo. Thanks to Tony Fahey.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks to Daniel Christensen.
Daniel, thanks.
Thanks to Taylor Carriage.
Yes.
You know, queen of the home runs.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Large lung capacity.
Oh, yeah. This we're talking 2 minutes underwater.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking like you feel a suction when she inhales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's popular.
Yeah. She's almost like Kirby.
Yeah.
She doesn't suck up power. It's just a lot of air.
Just a lot of air.
I like your idea here. Mm-hmm. And finally, Maggie's favorite, Adam and Tanium Jello.
Adam and Jello.
Thank you. I think it's your favorite. You can pick one.
All right.
Go ahead. It's him or her.
It's
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
We did it.
We've spoken of our heritage.
Yes,
we have not compared crests, but I feel like
I was going to ask if the Ganzers had a crest.
No, we barely even know where we come from 3 generations ago.
Really?
Like I have no idea beyond my great grandparents anything about our history.
Whoa,
no idea.
wow.
Other than I had a great uncle who like had like one of those old fucking scrolls with our family history. Haven't seen him in decades, but he claimed we were related to George Washington and came on the the Mayflower.
Plymouth babies.
He claimed that. It's like, well, you know, you have a giant scroll that somebody made that says it. I mean, you know, sure.
Wow.
Could be.
You haven't done the DNA?
Well, no, we have, but that doesn't tell you history. That just tells you regions of the world.
Right.
We're from the Norse lands. We're Scandinavian in origin. That couldn't surprise you.
Me at all.
No, I look like what I am.
Yeah. You look about right. Yeah.
Did you think Viking? You're right. I look like that's about what it is. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you!